So this month of November, we prepare for the Thanksgiving holiday. That day, I don't know why it's one day, but it's a good remembrance for us all to know that we have so much to be grateful for. And we're celebrating it each week by deepening into the consciousness of plenty, through an expanded awareness, up-leveled thinking, and an attitude of gratitude. And today our focus is on magnetizing plenty. So I kind of changed up the title. It's in the bulletins a little bit, so that's how Spirit came through. So I want to begin today's talk with two statements that may seem a bit harsh. And if we stay on the surface of them, but if we go deeper, which I would like us to do, we will mine gold, because there is golden wisdom in these statements. So we begin with the first one. At the conclusion of the parable of the talents, Jesus made the first statement for us to look at today. The master teacher, Jesus' parable of the talents, a wealthy man, this is a little parable, a wealthy man goes away on a long trip and leaves money for his 3 servants to care for. He gives the first servant 5 talents, the second servant he gives 2, and the third he gives 1. When he returns after a long absence, he asks the servants to show him what they had done with the money and how they had handled the stewardship of his resources. The first 2 servants tell the master they had faith in their charge. They kept the money in circulation. Investing it wisely, they maximized the money's potential, and in doing so doubled it, and the master was very pleased. By contrast, the last servant did not multiply the single talent that he was given. In fact, when the master asked him what he did with it, he said, "I was afraid and I buried it in the earth." So being very displeased, the master takes even the single talent away and gives it to the servants who had invested wisely. And he said this is what we're going to kind of take apart. For to him who has, it shall be given, and it shall increase to him. But he who has not, even that which he has, shall be taken away from him. Sounds a little harsh. So the rich get richer, right? And the poor get poorer. That's what we kind of got from that growing up. And maybe we're still in that mindset. And so is that what Jesus is clearly saying here? Because it seems a little harsh. And then in Science of Mind, Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote this: wherever we are, however intolerable the situation may be, we are just where we belong. And that just feels like is adding insult to injury. This is what we read, okay? We take these in. So why have I shared these seemingly harsh, disempowering ideas with you this morning? Because, my friends, they are actually quite empowering. They really are. And here's what Jesus was really saying as he said this in Matthew 25, verse 29. For to him who has, and then we put in, the consciousness of plenty, it shall be given, and it shall increase to him. But he who hath not the consciousness of plenty, even that which he has shall be taken away from him. The lack consciousness. This is what we are relearning and staying in the flow if we're already in alignment to everything is consciousness. Everything we experience, everything we attract into our lives is our consciousness, which is our ideas, our thoughts, our actions, our values, everything that makes up who we truly are. So, and what Holmes wrote immediately after that harsh indictment that he had is of being right where we belong by right of consciousness, that we absolutely have the ability to move ourselves to another place. No one else can do it but ourselves. It is all, when people say it's all consciousness, we attract what we are. It truly is right. Sometimes we don't want to look at that, and we don't see that, and we push that away because this is happening to me, victim consciousness. This is happening to me, so I don't want to hear all of that stuff, that goody-goody stuff, but it really will come down to it. I know I've lived it. I've been in both places, and I know that it is consciousness that allows every one of us, by choice, how we create the future. Holmes wrote this: "There is no power in the universe but ourselves that can free us. Someone may help us on the road to realization, but substantiality and permanence can come only through the consciousness of our own life and thought. We must bring ourselves to the place in mind where there is no misfortune, no calamity, no accident, no trouble, no confusion, where there is nothing but plenty, peace, power, life, and truth. We should definitely, daily," he says, "declare the truth about ourselves, realizing that we are reflecting our statements into consciousness, and they will be operated right there by it." So everything we think and say and do, there is that law of infinite energy that we call God, divine energy, whatever we want to call it, higher power, that will give us back exactly what we think and put into it. We cannot say this enough because we all need to be reminded all of the time that we are creating by what we say and what we think. So here's the bottom truth. Here's the bottom line truth. While it is accurate that at any moment we are where our consciousness has taken us, and while we may not like it there, if we do something very important things, if we do some very important things while we are in that uncomfortable situation, we can change our consciousness to magnetize plenty. And today, we become magnets. That's what I want us to really get into, that we draw to us that which we, as I said, think, feel, and do. Our energy, our consciousness. Ralph Waldo Trine is in tune with the infinite when he wrote this: "When we live in the realization of our oneness with the spirit of infinite plenty, the power that has brought, that is continuously bringing all things into material form, we become magnets to attract to ourselves a continuous supply of whatever things we desire, whatever we want in life. We become the magnets that draw it to us." How do we do this? How do we live our oneness and become magnets? And here's two ways that we're going to explore today. Embrace the now. It will always be that now. Embrace the now. And while you are in the now, the second thing is do the right thing. Do the right thing. Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "This time, like all times, is a very good one, if we but know what to do with it." And a note, we get these notes from the universe. Anyone can sign up for them. Mike Dooley, TUT. It's you get it on your email, and every day he sends an email. And this is one of them. He writes, "A dream manifestation workabout for those tired of visualizing, giving thanks, and acting as if is to love your life so greatly, exactly as it is, that you become a total magnet for more of all you could ever love. You become the love magnet, signed the universe. Love your life greatly, exactly as it is. It is from that place of gratitude, that you are bringing more and more good into your life. Wallace Wattles, in his great book, The Science of Getting Rich, on which the movie The Secret was based, wrote about this very things. He's always talking about the substance. That's the divine energy, that we are like the fish in the sea. So we are the people in this substance that will give us back what we put into it. So it's there all along. But he said that whatever you are doing, as your occupation, in your relationships, whatever it is, in your health, that you do it with 100% exactly where you are, and hold that vision of what you desire at the same time. Because that is how you shift into what you want in your life. It could be in a relationship. It could be in a job situation. It could be in any area, health situations in our lives. Holding that vision of what we want, but giving 100% right where we are. We might not love it, but we can still elevate our frequency to attract the very thing that we want. We can create that which we really want to experience in life. Whatever it is, more money, more love, more health, whatever it is, more happiness. Happiness, that's the greatest thing, great song, happiness. In other words, accepting and embracing the present, warts and all, puts you in a higher vibration consciousness, which is a very attractive consciousness. Being in sync with the present is just about the best way to optimize your future in the now moment. Another note from the universe read this: go ahead, want it all. Just learn to be happy before it arrives, or you may not notice when it does. Tally-ho, the universe. How many things have come into our lives that we're not even aware of because we were too busy complaining or being miserable about what was already there, because we want this out here, when there is no out here. Remember, we're the fish in the ocean. There is no out here. There is an in here. And this is how we attract into our lives. So we must cease thinking of what we desire in relationship to time or space or environment, or in the relative sense. And we must commence to think of them as already in existence in the absolute. All the good there is. We say all the time, God is good, and we say all the time, God is good all the time, not some of the time, all of the. Are we not created out of that substance of good? And if we are, then we are in that vibration when we align with it of that good coming to us in any form that we desire, because we are worthy. We are so worthy. And there is only the now moment to do this thing. In 28 Laws of Attraction, author Thomas Leonard writes this: you can't change the future, although things you do now will affect it. You can't change the past, although things you do now will unlock its grip on you. So the past and the future are too important to ignore. But the present is much, much bigger, more interesting and powerful than either one. It is what is. It is what in the isness of life. I always love it. It is what is, right? The less emphasis, he writes, you give the other two, the more control you can take over your reality. It's up to us. It will always, this is where our responsibility for what is going on in life lies within us. And I love these words from Dr. Ernest Holmes. Let us no longer fight the old. Let us forget the past and live in the eternal present of God's happy smile. I love this. Today is good. Tomorrow will be even better. And that vista of tomorrows that stretches down the bright eternities of an endless future will all be good, for the nature of reality cannot change. Just reading those words can move us from a depressing place, a stuck place. It can open us up. It's the vibration of the words. Now it takes us to the second thing. While embracing the now, do the right thing. What is the right thing, you might ask? That which is for the higher good will always be the right thing. You know the right thing by how you feel. You might not want to do the right thing, or you might push it off, but when you do it, you know how you feel, that vibration of doing, I did the right thing. Might have been uncomfortable or not, but I did the right thing. That's how you know. When you're open and available, we will know what it is. And if we do the right thing, this is why we do it for many reasons, but in the now moment, we magnetize ourselves to more of God's plenty, more of divine abundance. We just do it. We're in that law of circulation. We're in that whole law. So Isaac Newton once said, if two angels were sent down from heaven, one to rule an empire and one to sweep the street, they would feel no inclination to change employment. Why? Because an angel would know that no matter what the task, there is an opportunity to bring light and joy, to deepen understanding, and to expand life. We are beings of light, truly. That's who we really are. We just have all this human stuff like clouding it all up and junking it all up, but when we keep moving through it, even when we forget and lose our way again, we know that there is a light within us, and there truly is. I really believe this, and I think most of you do, that resonates in that frequency of divine eternality. We are eternal beings. Are we expressing light and joy in our lives? No matter what's going on. Because there's always going to be the ups and downs of life. It's our human experience. It's always going to happen. Ups and downs. So let's move into this practice this morning. So rather than thinking about the past or the present, I'm going to do a little meditation here, right now. And I was going to read something, but I think I'll just do a spiritual mind treatment, which is affirmative prayer instead, because I'm feeling it. So I invite you to just sit in your seats as you are and just open up your mind, your heart, your soul, and take a really nice breath. And listen to these words. I am breathing. I have life. It's this moment. The power is here and now. And so I choose to do all that I can with what I have, right where I am. That attitude of gratitude will raise our vibration so that we really do become magnets. Magnets for plenty, for peace, for well-being. And just continuing in that breath, and just feel your heart opening up a little. Breathe into it. Feel your entire energy field filled with peace. You are pure energy. You are pure energy. That energy is filled with gratitude. You become the magnet that attracts more and more good in its every form into your life right here and right now. So let's get centered in this grateful heart energy. As I do spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer, as I speak the word. And so we are all in this moment beings of absolute light. And as we set our intention and open our hearts, more of that light flows in through to us, expresses outward in that circular motion. What we give is what we receive. What we receive is what we give. It is all in that flow, nothing blocking the good for each and every one present here this morning. For I know that the infinite light is always shining, that divine energy that has created all that is, all that ever can be. It is infinite in its incredible nature of creation. It is the power and presence of peace, of unconditional love, of plenty in its every form, complete abundance. There is nothing this divine energy cannot create. And so therefore I know that each and every one of us has within us this divine nature. We are beings of this light energy. And so as we open our minds, our hearts, our souls, and join in the responsibility of doing the inner work, of connecting and building a relationship with this powerful good, then we are aligned with the allness, the oneness, the unity of life itself. And so as we step forward, we are never alone. We are surrounded, immersed in this sea of plenty. All that we desire in its every form, we will magnetize it to ourselves, and therefore experience that joy, that peace, that happiness that comes when we are in alignment with our divine self, our true self, our eternal self. I am so grateful to be here at Joyful Gathering Spiritual Center with all of these beautiful lights. I am so grateful for the good that is in my life and in each one's life, and that good which is manifesting right here and now, because it's attracting more of that good. And so in this gratitude, and knowing fully that this word is spoken from that place of heart-centered gratitude, I release this word fully, completely into the law of divinity, where this word comes forth as manifestation in each and everyone's life. Let it be, and so it is.